Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back with another Santos Bravos video. Even though we just found out the debut and they released their first track, we're still getting more content. I literally saw this notification and I'm like, I'm not gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it as I record the reaction so you guys can see where my reaction to this is. But apparently, if you guys remember when during the whole announcement, Pame had said like they're having a meeting right now and they're deciding who's gonna get selected. They recorded it. So the Santos Bravos channel just posted the video of when the members found out who got made the final five. So they recorded it backstage, and obviously then the final five were the ones that came on stage and performed, which now makes sense that they were emotional already and then it's like go perform. So at least they found out beforehand and not just like last minute and like go perform. I think it looks like they had like a couple minutes to like find out the news and then interact with them, the trainees that didn't make it, and probably they needed time to like compose themselves, and that's why it took so long. So I totally get that. I'm glad that we're seeing this video now because I feel like it gives us an idea of how the other members reacted, how they reacted towards each other, them congratulating each other and like being sad for each other, those that didn't make it. So to me, I feel like that's gonna give us some closure to see their interactions with each other. I would have loved the fans to have seen it the day it happened, so it wouldn't feel like we were missing something, that it was like missing a piece. Like, how do they feel? How do they react? Like, are they okay? Like, were they happy for each other, you know? And to give us fans a little bit of closure of like, okay, at least even though they're sad, we know that they're happy for each other, you know? I feel like we all needed this, and it's 2 days late because yeah, it's like Thursday night and it's like we found out on Tuesday. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and I watched the intro, the little bit of the start, and that's how I knew. I'm like, oh my god, this is how they found out. So we're gonna go ahead and watch it together. I might cry, I might not. Sometimes I get super emotional and I start crying for no reason, so don't judge me. Especially if they're gonna cry, I'm probably gonna cry too, but we can all cry together. It's fine. There's, you see Drew, he's coming into the dressing room en el Auditorio Nacional en la Ciudad de México. Why? Oh my god, that's right. If you guys remember, after they all performed, what? I think they all performed the Backstreet Boys, or was it Suave? What was the last song they all performed together that at the end people were crying and like hugging each other? It looks like this is right after that performance because Alejandro, our boy Alejandro, nuestro principito, like just walked in with like tears in his face. Don't make me cry, Ale. It's like all 10 of them.
Se merecen esto y mucho más. Los felicito por ser las personas que son, por ser los artistas en los que se convirtieron. Gracias, gracias, gracias por su sacrificio, por su honestidad, por su talento, por su compromiso. Vamos a anunciar una banda, pero todos ustedes ya son estrellas. En algo muy concreto, 5 de ustedes van a convertirse en los Santos Bravos.
5. Yanni se ve resignado.
Santo Bravo
Primero.
es alguien que nos enamoró con su voz. Cowboy.
Oh, Kawi, first member. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry.
El segundo Santo Bravo llegó tarde, pero llegó a marcar.
Kawi.
Gaby.
Hey! Llegó tarde, but he's like claimed his spot. Oh, no llores, Gaby, no llores.
El tercer Santo Bravo demostró que creer en uno mismo te puede llevar muy lejos.
Drew.
Alejandro.
Oh, Alejandro. My boy Alejandro. Aw.
quinto Santo
Leo,
Bravo
and not Yanis.
sintió que esta era su última oportunidad, que era todo o nada.
Drew.
Y lo dio todo. Drew, eres tu santo. Y el quinto Santo Bravo demostró disciplina y demostró madurez.
That's true.
Kenneth.
That's true. He showed his maturity. Like being with a bunch of like older boys, holding his own.
Ustedes son artistas, ustedes
Ah,
son seres
Lucas.
humanos extraordinarios. Y no se los tengo que decir yo, se los están diciendo allá y ustedes lo saben. Ha sido un gran privilegio tenerlos.
Drew, Gawe, Gaby, Alejandro, Kenneth. Oh, Jessica, in the back. El debut. I think it was really. I don't want to say weird. Hello. I don't want to say weird, but I almost feel like they knew. They knew like when they went in. I feel like they knew going into this lack of reaction makes me wonder if they already knew before they went into the last performance. If like the people that weren't debuting knew and the people that were debuting didn't know. Because they're not really like sad. I don't know if they're like holding it in. Like Alex doesn't look surprised at all. Like they're not emotional. Like, not that I wanted to see them crying. Like, poor Jessica, she's a mess. She's crying, but everybody else is kind of just like looking. I'm gonna cry. Everybody else is just looking at the screen, looking at the 5 members that debuted, you know, kind of like with pride, with like their shiny eyes. Obviously, Pablo and Yanis are like holding on to each other because I feel like out of these 5, Pablo and Yanis thought that like one of them was gonna make it. So to them, they were like, dang, we didn't make it. I feel like the other 3, Lucas, Alex, and Leo, kind of knew they were not gonna debut because like the feedback they received. But like I feel like Alex was just happy to have been there for the experience, to have the experience. So he doesn't look too heartbroken. He kind of like expected not to debut because of his vocals. But I'm like really surprised that they didn't like, I don't know if it's showing their maturity, that they're really mature, that they didn't like start crying when everybody else was crying, like the ones that got announced. They were very like plain faced. So I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. Or maybe here like Alex did show like a little bit of emotion.
Las que son, por ser los artistas en los que se convirtieron. Gracias, gracias, gracias por su sacrificio, por su honestidad, por su talento, por su compromiso. Vamos a anunciar una banda, pero todos ustedes ya son estrellas. En algo muy concreto, 5 de ustedes van a convertirse en los Santos Bravos.
I feel like some of them expected who was going to debut already.
El primer Santo Bravo es alguien que nos enamoró con su voz. Cowboy.
¡Venga!
See, everybody was at least like happy for them. They're like, yes, you deserved it, you know. For Kawe, he's gonna make me cry again.
El segundo Santo Bravo llegó tarde, pero llegó a marcar. Gaby.
I love that they're being supportive of each other, though. like Lucas and Yanis and Leo.
El tercer Santo Bravo demostró que creer en uno mismo te puede llevar muy lejos. Alejandro.
Alex does look sad actually. Him and Leo.
El cuarto Santo Bravo sintió que esta era su última oportunidad, que era todo o nada, y lo dio todo. Pero eres un santo.
Aw.
Y el quinto
Aw,
Santo
Lucas
Bravo
is crying.
demostró disciplina y demostró madurez. Kenneth.
Oh, Lucas is like happy for Kenneth, but he's sad because he knows that that's his last chance. Like, but Pablo and Leo really held it in.
Ustedes son artistas, ustedes
Oh,
son seres humanos
Lucas.
extraordinarios. Y no se los tengo que decir yo, se los están diciendo allá. Y ustedes
Who's
lo saben.
crying?
Ha sido un gran privilegio tenerlos.
Lucas. Oh, Jessica. I love that they were supportive of each other. That they, even though it was like the last 5, they were supportive of each other, because there have been other competition groups where the members that were eliminated are like bitter, and they like show it not only in their faces but like in the comments they make about like, I think the wrong person debuted, blah blah blah. That's like petty. But I love, like, here you could see that they were, even though they were sad, like watching it back the second time, I could see like Lucas was visibly crying, like Alex did look sad, but like Pablo and Leo held it in. The same with Yanis. I felt like Yanis was just like numb at that point, but you could tell that they were like resigned, but they didn't take away from the 5 they debuted. They didn't like dim their happiness by acting like a lot of the fans have been acting, to be honest. Like, the members themselves, the ones that went through the experience and lived it with them and had the dream, like the expectation that it was so close, they're being supportive of the 5 people that made it, and they're being happy for them, and they're like not being visibly like upset and mad. Obviously they were sad, which is understandable, but they didn't throw tantrums, which is completely different that when some of the fans, which I'm calling now solo fans, are doing, by being disrespectful, by like that whole chanting outside of the estadio, what is it called? Auditorio Nacional. That felt a little disrespectful to me. Yes, I get you're sad that your favorite didn't make it, but that doesn't mean they're gonna go, oh, never mind, Gabby, you're out, Pablo, you're in. You know, as sad as I am for the members that didn't make it, be respectful of those that did it, because they all put the same effort into it. They all like did their best. So here, imagine how they must have felt like hearing those chants and making them see like, oh, they didn't want me to debut because they wanted that guy. And not only that, not only doing that in person, but also going in the comments and like writing hate comments towards Gavi and Kenneth. That's not gonna make your favorite debut. Hive is not gonna say like, oh, never mind, we changed our mind, we're gonna take you out and put you in. No, like, don't be upset at the boys that did what they had to do. They put in the work. If you want to be upset at like the people that make the selections. Be upset at Jessica. Be upset at like the coaches. Be upset at like the final judges that were there that decided who was going to debut. Because I'm going to say, like, Hive, corporate, they're not saying who's going to debut. It's the label heads that are saying who's going to debut. And this is Hive Latin America. So that's those labels heads that decided this. It's not Hive in Korea. Don't like start going after Hive in Korea, after Big Hit. Be after all those labels. Look at this specific label. This is the choice they made. But anyways, sorry, I went off on a rant. I'm glad that they posted this video. We got to see the reactions of all the members, how they accepted the news, those that made it, and then the ones that didn't, how they took the news and how they were supportive of each other. They were like cheering for them. They were happy for them, you know, and they like stayed and watched the performance like proud brothers in the background, knowing that someday, you never know, their time will come. Maybe like a little bit, they just need to work a little bit more, like perfect something else, but their time will come. I have like faith that their time will come, like especially for these 5 at least. But anyways, what did you guys think, like now that we saw this behind the scenes look at how everything went down? Like, what are your feelings, what are your thoughts? Yeah, like, do you think that it was a good way to find out? I feel like it was a good way for them to find out in private instead of like so publicly and have the entire world see your reaction. I think that was good. The way that the sound system and everything failed for the final performance, and the way that the audience there was just like, okay, it's done, bye. That was weird. I'm not gonna lie to you. But anyways, let me know your thoughts in the comments. As always, please be respectful of each other. Any hate comments towards members that made it, or towards other people commenting, and towards fans in the comments, they're gonna be deleted. I'm just letting you know, because I don't need that toxicity in this channel. I feel like we built something that's, we can be respectful of each other's opinions. Because the opinions, like, it's an opinion, is not a right or wrong. An opinion can't be right or wrong. Everybody's entitled to feel how they feel, but doesn't mean you have to put other people down and make other people feel bad just to get your point across. Anyways, thank you guys for watching as always, and I'll see you next time.